Presume potential. 4.5.
Here's something we often think about. The cycle of perception. It goes like this. Perception drives expectation. How we perceive someone drives our expectations of them. And expectation drives opportunity. The more you expect of me, the more learning opportunities you'll offer me. Opportunity drives achievement. With more opportunities, we get more practice, and that accelerates learning. And finally, achievement drives perception. Now that I have more skills, you perceive me in a different way. And so we start a cycle that spins upward toward learning and achievement. Presuming potential embodies the belief that all AAC learners will learn. They'll learn and communicate and contribute in their own way, as long as we never stop creating those accessible and inclusive spaces for them to thrive. When we provide appropriate communication tools, instruction, and support, their AAC skills will grow. We use the term presume potential as opposed to presume competence, because competence begs for proof and comes with a lot of pressure. Potential is open-ended, just like learning AAC. There are many ways in which this is manifested. Presuming potential is a mindset. It influences our language, our actions, and our practices. Ability-positive language allows us to be descriptive and focus on areas for growth rather than focusing on deficits or lack of skills. So instead of saying that an AAC learner is not a reader, we describe what they do with their books. They hold their books or they throw them. They rip pages or they hold it upside down. These examples show us that he's learning what a book is all about. If we say he skips pages or she only looks at the pictures, we know that they have some understanding of how a book works. Later, we may notice that a child looks at the words. We start to see them get excited when they see the first letter of their name, suggesting some early alphabet knowledge. As learners move along a continuum of skills, those they haven't learned are in the realm of yet, and yet guides us to new skills. There are some basic do's and don'ts when it comes to interacting with our AAC learners in ways that reflect our mindset of presuming potential. Do be respectful in your words, tone of voice, and actions. Do alert AAC learners about what you're going to do to or with them during personal care, positioning, medical visits and procedures, transitions, and other activities. Do ask permission to share information about them with others. Now the don'ts. Don't talk about AAC learners in front of them as if they're not there. Don't assume they don't understand what you're saying. Don't assume you know what they want. And don't dismiss refusal as noncompliance. Instead, honor their no. Don't assume behavior, and I use that term loosely, is a deliberate choice. It may be their best option for communicating in a given moment.
I have pictures of people with blonde hair like her, and I'm like, you want short hair, medium hair, long hair, and she picks. And I'm like, do you want color or no color? And if she says color, then we're like, do you want stripes or do you want your ends colored? And she picks. And then we go to the salon, and the salon, they're really good now, so they come out with the color book. And they're like, what color do you want? And we went out one year, and she was right on aquamarine. She picked, and she's never picked this, aquamarine. She kept picking it. And I was like, all right, I guess she's gonna have blue hair, it's weird. And she got blue hair, and we got home, and her nanny was like, did you get blue hair for Uma? Yes or no? And Sophie's like, yes. And I'm like, who's Uma? And the nanny's like, oh, she's a character in The Descendants too, that we watch on Disney all the time. And I'm like, that's another moment where you're like, she knew something that I didn't, and she communicated it, and that means it's real. It's not just me making it up. I'm not pretending like she's doing it, right? It's real.
So he would type a letter, and he'd look at her, and she'd say, is that what you wanted? And so then, well, let's try again. She'd delete it, and they did this. He ended up with the word pool. That's the word that came up. Now, I'm nowhere near this. This is just described to me. And as it turns out, the bag he wanted had his swim stuff in. And And I didn't tell her that till later because it was supposed to be one of his swim days. But they weren't doing it because she was there observing that day. Now, I had no knowledge that he knew the word pool. I had no knowledge that he's ever really typed anything. I don't know how it happened, but I think that if we are open enough and if we are receptive, you have something to tell me, let's find a way for you to tell me something that we can communicate better.
And that's just it. He understands. He doesn't have to hit. He's listening. His receptive. Our kids' receptive language is so good. I mean, it's like they are so underestimated with what they know. It's just crazy.
Here's the thing. Presuming potential is a quality of life issue. Interactions grounded in presuming potential are more fun and interesting and sustainable. And they create space for more authentic connection. And this isn't just true for the AAC learner. It is also true for us, the communication partners. Interactions that celebrate the presuming potential mindset are to be celebrated. There's tremendous value in making such interactions visible to others too. Other family members, service providers, school staff, even people in the community. Buckminster Fuller once said, "There's nothing about a caterpillar that tells you it's going to be a butterfly." This imagery is so useful for thinking about what it means to presume potential. AAC learning takes time, and it has its course. You can't rush it, and you don't know what magic is going to come to life down the road. None of us has a crystal ball that predicts the upper limits of a person's ability and potential. We cannot know what will be achieved in a lifetime, so we must always assume that there's more to learn, more interest to develop, more opportunities to be experienced. So we keep teaching, we keep modeling, and we keep communicating.